All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show on the road. I am your host, Coach Terrence Wood, with you live, you guys, for the Recruiting Live Show. Super excited to come to you because what? We're getting closer to that time, right? We're getting closer to that time where many of you are going to find out what's that next helmet you're going to wear. What's that next stadium that you're going to call your home stadium? Some of you guys may be moving a little further away from home than you're thinking right now. So very excited to talk to you guys tonight. We've got a special show lined up for you. If you haven't been joining us through the previous weeks, we go live every single Tuesday, you guys, and this is all meant for you. You student athletes that want to get to the next level. The class of 2024, this is particularly for you because you guys are next up. You guys are the ones that are going to be signing here shortly, and we've got a great presentation for you tonight. So I am your host, once again, Coach Terrence Wood. I've been doing this for years, you guys. This is a labor of love for me. I come from a football family. My grandfather on the far left is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. His name is Willie Wood. That is me that you see in the middle of the screen tackling the Oregon Duck. And I wish I had some more eligibility the last time my team played Oregon, but that is me, and I played at the University of Colorado, was fortunate enough to play in the CFL and then also the AFL, the Arena Football League. For us, you guys, and I say us because we have a team behind our company. The name of our company is Before You Go Pro. We're the one that is hosting the Recruiting Live Show. So every Tuesday, you guys, you can come visit us on the Before You Go Pro channel and through the recruiting signing period. So that means all the way until February, when the regular signing period ends, we will have the Recruiting Live Show, and it's all geared towards giving you guys some advice, but also giving you guys some insight into how we go about our recruiting process with Before You Go Pro, and then also allowing you guys to have some questions and some Q&A. So we're not new to this, you guys. I'm not new to this personally. My team is not new to this. Before You Go Pro has been around for over 16 years. This truly is a labor of love. I look at it as my ministry to be able to feed into you young athletes. Now, one thing you're going to realize about the football industry is that you're going to need some relationships. You're going to need some relationships, you guys. This industry is no different than someone entering into the movie industry or into the music industry. This is entertainment, especially at the highest level. People get paid millions of dollars. Now, because of NIL, student athletes get paid too. So this is high level stuff. Some of you guys may play on TV one day. Some of you guys may play in a bowl game, may play in the playoffs. So this is high-level stuff that we're dealing with, you guys, and you're going to need some relationships. You're going to need some relationships. So if you guys look at the screen on the far right, that's our locker room show. You guys should tune into the Before You Go Pro channel for the locker room show because we give you plenty of game, plenty of sauce, plenty of education that's going to help you be better than the next person. And that's Coach Rondo. Coach Rondo is at Pace University. This is a school that costs $56,000 a year. I don't know how many of you or you parents have $56,000 just to throw out every single year, but that's how much Coach Rondo's school costs. And he's taken multiple of our athletes, you guys. So relationships, we've got relationships with people. And then we've got leverage. Sometimes you need a little leverage, right? Sometimes you need somebody to point to you, even when you may be equal to another person that they're looking at for that scholarship. Or maybe the person that they're looking at is a little bit above you, but you've got the inside connection. You've got the leverage. So you're the one that gets the scholarship offer. So relationships and leverage, you guys, are huge in college football recruiting. Do not fool yourself. You need people that know what they're doing. That's what this is all about. This is about the athletes that want to get to that next level. These are all athletes that I personally worked with. My team has worked with. I showed you guys right here, Coach Fuller. Well, look at the bottom of the screen. Right there, Zach Weber. We've had kids play at Florida State. We've had kids play at Hawaii. We've had kids play all over the country. Some of you guys may want to play at a HBCU. That's amazing. We would love to help you get there. my alma mater. We need some more talent, even though we're picking it up at Deion this thing. Some of you guys may want to play at Colorado. Obviously, that's high level, but we would love to help you out. So thank you for joining us tonight. And once again, you guys, what this is about is the journey, because sometimes we just think getting the scholarship offer, just signing to that team, signing that letter of intent, that we're done. That it's all good. We're on to the red carpet journey, and it doesn't always end up that way. If you look at this young man right here, this is one of my own babies. This is somebody I've known since he was in high school. If you look to the far right, he's playing at UMass right now. He's a tight end at UMass, playing on TV, having a great season, actually. But he was never thinking that he was going to be a tight end playing Division I football. He thought he was going to be playing Division I football, but he always thought it was going to be as a quarterback. So there's a journey, and everybody's journey is different. You guys are all individual contractors. You play a team sport, but you guys are making moves on your own. This is who this is for. This is for the young man that wants to experience this or something similar. The young man that wants to run out after all of the blood, sweat, and tears, all the work that he's put in, and play big-time college football. And to me, you guys, big-time college football is wherever they're giving you a couple of dollars. Wherever they're giving you a couple of dollars, that is big-time college football. You know why? Because it's business now. There's been a business transaction that's been had. So you guys need to, and then, of course, if you're playing at this level, the Texas A&M SEC level, then that's basically like pro football. So whatever level you play at, if they give you a couple of dollars, or if they say the only reason we're calling your house is because you play football, then it's big-time football, baby. And you need to be ready for it, all right? So we want to get you guys to that level. We want to get as many people as possible, but before you go pro, to that level. Now, some of you guys might not have the finances to officially join our program, which is impossible because we have an offer-based program where you can tell us what you can pay. But some of you guys might not want recruiting services that you pay for. Some of you guys might not want the mentoring that we provide, which is beautiful for you. That's okay. That's why we do this for free. Okay, so you can make it happen on your own if you want to make it happen on your own. Now, I highly recommend, once again, this is Coach Wood, highly recommend that you guys check out our previous recruiting live shows if you haven't already. This is something that we talk about continually. And what I call this is the recruiting variables. The recruiting variables, okay, you guys? So there are different variables that are going to come into play that determine if you're one of the 18 to 25 kids that get that scholarship offer to Iowa, or gets that scholarship offer to Western Oregon. There's going to be some variables that come into play. And typically, this is what we see, you guys. We see core GPA come into play. If you do not know what that is, please start to research these things. There's no shame in not knowing what something is. And I've been there before, especially when I was a younger person. There's no shame in not knowing something. The shame comes in when you don't look it up, when you don't look that word up, or when you don't research it, because you should know everything about the recruiting process if you're serious about it. So core GPA is going to come into play. Family background. Look at the third one from the bottom. Family background could come into play. You may not know much about me, and you may say, okay, Coach Wood, how does family background come into play? Well, I told you at the very beginning of this that my grandfather is a Hall of Famer. So, you know, when I get 5 interceptions in high school, and the kid that may be better than me, I'm just keeping it real with you guys, and the kid who may be better than me from the opposing school has 5 interceptions too, guess who they're probably going to give the nod to? They're going to give the nod to me once they find out I've got a Hall of Fame grandfather. Okay, so I want you guys to keep in mind the variables that could come into play. Current interest, you guys see that one, fourth one from the bottom. If I've got interest from Florida State already, then that probably means I can talk to the other schools in the ACC. especially if I got good grades, because Florida State's expected to win the ACC. So if I've got Florida State, then I should have everybody underneath Florida State. And that works, you guys, too, at the lower levels. At the lower levels of this game, we don't have to play around. We can sniper shoot this thing, okay? So one of the things that I've highly recommended all of the athletes who are attending the recruiting live show, because you guys who are attending the recruiting live shows, I'm assuming you guys are the dogs. I'm assuming you guys are the ones who are serious about this life. So I want to give you guys all the game, and my team does that we possibly can every single week. So if you guys are going to really get serious about this thing, it's going to start with your evaluation. It's going to start with your evaluation, and that's huddle and that's grades. Huddle and grades. For those that aren't familiar with the term huddle, maybe there's a parent on here. That's the highlight film. That's the resume. And then also your transcripts, right? Your film is what's going to get you in the door. When I was in high school, I was recruited by the University of Virginia, UVA. The only reason, and I'm a West Coast person, so I was going to high school in California. The only reason that UVA was flying across the country and calling me from across the country was because of my film. They weren't calling me because of my grades. They weren't calling me because of my character. It was because of my film. It's the resume. It's the demo tape, okay? But the grades and the character are extremely important. The grades and the character are extremely important. They're basically the foundation that hold up the film, because a coach could like your film and then he goes and runs and talks to your coach, and coach says, he's a piece of you know what. I wouldn't even deal with him, coach. So boom, right there, your table done fell apart. Or coach could love your film, and then he goes, talks to coach and asks for the transcripts, and your grades are terrible. So boom, my foundation's falling apart on the left-hand side, So we got to be aware, you guys, the film is the only thing they care about. They don't care how handsome you are. They don't care how much you know. They don't care how good you dance. They don't care how many TikTok videos you did. All they care about is the film, and can this young man help my team? Because if this young man helps my team, then guess what? My contract is extended. Maybe I get a few more dollars in my back pocket. Now, once I get you, I may love on you. If I'm a good coach, if I'm a Coach Prime, a Dabo Sweet, if I'm one of these coaches that really loves supposedly Dan Lanning at Oregon, if I'm one of these coaches that really loves on my players, and once I got you, I'm going to love on you. But before that, all I care about is the film. And once the film makes me all hot and bothered, then I'm going to check out the grades and the character and see if this diamond will stand on its own. Okay, let me get a drink of water. Okay, so now we know what it takes, right? We know what it takes. And this is the key for tonight, because if you guys haven't been following along with the recruiting live shows, once again, this is every Tuesday. Make sure you guys subscribe, actually. Let me hit that button right there. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, because you'll get the notifications. And then plus, YouTube will do us a solid and put this information in front of more young men like yourselves, parents like yourselves, that could benefit from this. We're growing an amazing football community. So if you're not a part of it, please join. But you guys, right now we're talking about getting you to college. That's all that matters tonight. That's all that matters every Tuesday, right? So check this out. The timeline is critical. The timeline is critical. We always talk about the timeline on Recruiting Live show, because if we follow the timeline, then we're in the ball game, baby. We're in the ball game. So right now, I'm speaking specifically to the class of 2024. Now, if you're not in the class of 2024, you're going to get a lot out of this too. Maybe you won't need recruiting support once it's your time to go to college. But if you're in the class of 2024, you guys are only months away from a signing day. The early signing period in December. You guys are only months away, so there is time, but we don't want to play. Right now, you guys are in an evaluation period. So that means that the coaches could pull up. The coaches can pull up to your practice. The coaches can pull up to your game. The coaches can pull up to that award ceremony. They've got full reign. There are kids right now that already have offers in the 2024 class. There are kids that are setting up official recruiting visits and have already been on official recruiting visits. Now, most of that is at the top level. That's at the Division I, the highest level. But it's starting to pick up at the other levels too. And there's still time at the Division I level if you get going, right? So let's check this out. The timeline, you guys. There's two reasons why the timeline is important right now, especially when you hit October 1st. That's when we kind of really start the wheels running with Before You Go Pro, our company, and start reaching out to our college coaching contacts. In the beginning of the season, they're worried about getting out to a good start with their own team. They have to win games or else they're going to get fired, and recruiting you isn't going to matter anyway, right? So in the beginning of the season, they have to focus on wins. They've got the grad assistants and they've got player personnel people looking at recruiting stuff. Now everybody's on board. Now that we're in a full evaluation period, everybody is focused on recruiting. Now, the coaches still have to coach, but they're also focused on recruiting. Another reason why this is important, the timeline. Once again, the timeline. If you guys know the timeline, you can't get beat. Here's another reason why the timeline is important, you guys. Some of you guys want to play at the highest level, Right there, you guys see FBS Power 5 football, Illinois, right? That's in the Big Ten. They play at the highest level. On the right-hand side, you guys see FCS football. That's actually a HBCU program, Jackson State. Both of these teams play big-time football. You see where they're at right now with their schedule? Jackson State's a little bit further. They're one game further than Illinois. But my bottom line, you guys, is all these teams are now hitting the middle of the season. They're hitting the middle of the season. If you want to go a level lower, check out Adams State. This is a Division II program. A Division II program a lot of you guys might like to play for. A lot of you guys might like to play for. A lot of the schools that we use in these examples, we've got great connections with the coaching staffs, and we've already had players play for these schools or currently at these schools. So right now, look, they're in the middle of the season. Adams State has what? 6 games left. The football season just goes like that. It goes so fast, you guys. Adams State only got 6 games left. Illinois, Jackson State, 5-6 games less, unless they go to a bowl game. So this is important because now, once again, they're starting to turn their attention to you guys. So I want to teach you how to get to the money, okay? I want to teach you how to get to the money. And one thing that we talk about a lot, and we're going to be getting more into the tactics as we get deeper into the recruiting season. But we talk about the low-hanging fruit. You see an apple tree, and then we don't want to have to climb. I'm hungry. I don't want to climb all the way to the top of the apple tree. There's low-hanging fruit right here that I can grab, right? So we talk about the low-hanging fruit, and it's no different than if I'm hungry for some food. I may be hungry for a scholarship offer, a preferred walk-on offer, a PWO. I don't have anything in my back pocket, coach. I'm hungry. Can you help me get something? Well, we're going to go after the low-hanging fruit, you guys. And this is a tactic that we're going to get into the specifics of it, but here's the gist of it. The beautiful thing, and once again, what did we talk about? We talked about the timeline. Sometimes everybody gets all hot and bothered and they get nervous about the recruiting process because they see their friends getting recruited. But there's time sometimes. There's patience that has to take place, you guys. Sometimes we need this dynamic to happen right here. This dynamic to happen right here where you see Virginia. Virginia's all the way at the bottom of the ACC. They're already 0-5. They've only played 5 games in the season. They haven't won one yet, you guys. Look at points for, the next column to the right, 107 points for. If you look to the top at Louisville, 185 points for. So they're at the bottom as far as scoring points. When you look at PA, that's points against. You look to the right, they're giving up 178 points. in 5 games. Who's at the top? Louisville, only 86 points that they've given up in 5 games. So this is the low-hanging fruit. Now, I have to be at the Virginia level. I have to be at the Power 5 FBS level as far as my talent and as far as my grades. But if maybe I'm a kid who has slipped through the cracks and I get an evaluation, and my evaluation that came from Before You Go Pro or somebody that I can trust says that, yeah, man, you're a Power 5 level recruit. Well, then I would definitely go after a school like Virginia, especially if I'm in their backyard. Maybe I'm from Virginia. Maybe I'm from Georgia. Maybe I'm from Tennessee. You know, I would definitely go after a UVA. And I'm going to show you how to apply this to your situation. Check this out. Now, you may say, hey, I'm not a Power 5 level kid, but I do want to go play some college football. Maybe I'm more like a D2 kid, D3, NAIA, right? So here you go. Here you go. And this is why we have a Recruiting Live show. So you guys can find out how we proceed as a company ourselves. Now, we would love to help you out and do it for you, but you can do this on your own if you put in the time. Look at this. This is a Division II school. Some of you guys may be at the Division II level. Look at Northeastern State, Riverhawks. They're 0-5, just like Virginia, but look at the points for. My God, look a couple spaces up ahead of them. Lincoln College. Look at the points for 37 points. 24 points, you guys. 24 points. This team has already played 5 games this season. This is major Division II level college football where they give you money. And they've only scored 24 points, you guys, in 5 games. I know you guys probably got some comments about that. 24 points. Some schools are scoring that in half of a quarter. Definitely scoring it in a half. The whole season, you guys. 5 games, only 24 points. So if I'm a quarterback, if I'm an explosive receiver, if I'm a dynamite running back, then would you think maybe they'll be interested in you? You think maybe that's some low-hanging fruit for you right there? If you get a Division II level grade, look at the points against. Look at that final column, you guys. Northeastern State Riverhawks, Division II, big-time program. They've given up 209 points. 200. Look at the school Lincoln above them, 2 above them, 278 points. You guys, in 5 games, you don't think they need some defensive help? So if I'm a cornerback, if I'm a D tackle, DN that can get to the quarterback, if I'm a linebacker that's a heat-sinking missile, and I get a Division II grade from Before You Go Pro or somebody else, there's some money for you. There's some low-hanging fruit. It might not be Michigan. It might not be what you dreamed of, but you're going to college. You're going to play some football, and then we can leverage that for some more, you guys. So right there, and then look at this school. This isn't just some crazy-looking school. This is a beautiful campus. This is back east. Once again, Southeastern. What's the name of it again? This is Northeastern State. Northeastern State, and they're terrible. But this looks like a great school, you guys. This looks like a great school. This is somewhere where it's low-hanging fruit. You're talking about you want to go play some college football? Look at this big stadium. They still got fans. They're leaving right now. They got blown out, but they still got fans. You know, this looks like big-time football, and you can leverage it for more. They've got an indoor facility at Northeastern State. An indoor facility, you guys. So, hey, this is about tactics. This is about finding ways, you guys, to get to the next level, right? That's why we're here. I'm going to get a sip of water real quick. But that's why we're here, right? So right there is some low-hanging fruit. And once again, you can do this at every single level, but you have to get a film evaluation and you have to make sure your grades are tight, right? All right, so let's get to this last part. And this is where we always evaluate one of our own. We always kind of show you what we're doing with one of our own. So this is the great Lane Lance. This is one of my new superstars, and he's out of Georgia, you guys, out of Georgia. So the reason why we want to do these different examples is so that you guys know how to do this for yourself. If you have any comments, if you think of something while I'm talking, then we're going to get to the Q&A section here in a second. But this is Lane Lance. He's out of Georgia. Now look at his measurables. 6 foot, good measurable, 6 foot 230, DN tackle, 3.2 GPA, and then he's in Georgia, right? So already we know some things about Lance. Now I'm gonna show you his film so you can get a feel for how Lance plays. Here you go. So you guys can see right there, Lane can definitely play, and there's a few aspects. That's why this is a good example right here. Now, Lane's a DN tackle, you guys. Now, I want to show you his film evaluation grade, because a real film evaluation, you should get a good feel for what level of football somebody feels that you can play at. So we did a film evaluation on Lane, and he got a mid to low FCS grade, strong D2 grade. Now, that's based off of his film. We really like this film, but then also we got to tie in some other things to that, you guys. We got to tie in that GPA, of course. Now, he's got a great GPA. He's above a 3.0. And then we've really got to tie in his particular situation, his size. Lane's got great size, but 6 foot 230 is small for a college defensive lineman. So you've got to factor that in. You may be ripping it up, you guys, at running back or something, but your exposure may be lower because of your size. The schools that are looking at you may be lower because of your size. Right now, Lane doesn't have any offers, but that was where we evaluated him as far as skill and talent. And we're okay with our evaluation of him because we've been doing this for years. Now, we also know what geographic areas will be most likely to recruit Lane, because he's in Georgia, and we fence off the schools that are most likely going to be the areas to recruit him. Now, we gave him an FCS grade. I want to show you guys something real quick. Now, so we may be thinking of a school like Mercer, because Mercer is in GA, and he's in GA, okay? I believe Mercer's in GA. They may be in Alabama. They're in that Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia area. So we know that they recruit Georgia, where Lane is at, right? We also have a player currently playing at Mercer that's doing great. It's Tommy Bliss, so a safety. So we've got some leverage with Mercer. So we believe talent-wise, you guys, that he can play at Mercer. But what we're going to do next is we're going to see if size-wise, if they would be willing to recruit him, because this is Division I ball. And we don't want to waste our time. We need to get Lane to the bag, to the money, right? So we have to see talent-wise. We think he may be able to play at a school like Mercer, but size-wise, would they recruit him? So this is the size, you guys, have seen some of the D linemen that are playing at Mercer. 6 foot 245. Now, what was Lane? He's 6 foot 230. So he's only 15 pounds off of this senior. So we're in a good spot right here, I think. 6'1", 245, that's a little bit taller, but that's a junior. 6 foot 245. So right there, we feel that Mercer is a school that we could potentially push to a kid like Lane on. And then we're looking at a school, a Division II school like West Georgia. Now, West Georgia, Georgia's, high-level football. They're about to go to the Division I level. They're going to be at the same level of Mercer. If you look at some of their D linemen are a little bit bigger. 6'3", 259, 6 foot, same size as Lane, but he's heavier, 273. He may be a D tackle, 6'2", so he's taller than Lane, but 236. Lane is 230, so we're kind of in the mix there. The one underneath him, 6'2", 236, same kind of thing. So these are things to keep in mind, you guys. An evaluation, once again, should tell you the level of football that you can play at, but also that should include if you have the right size and if you have the right GPA where you can compete. If we go down to a school like Adams State, you've got 6'1", 240, 6'1", 240, 6 foot 250. So right in line with Lane, right in line, maybe a little taller, but right in line with where Lane's going to be by his sophomore year of college. Okay. So that's how we go about it, you guys. There's a method to the madness because you don't have time to waste. You have to get the film evaluation. You've got to look at the transcripts. And then also you've got to know geographically what schools to hit at the levels and then go after the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit is just there sitting for you. We just showed you a team that's terrible at the Power 5 level, and a team that's terrible at the D2 level. And believe me, there's terrible teams at the D3 and NAIA level too. There's terrible teams at the HBC level. And you may say, Coach, I don't want to play for a terrible. I got it. But you don't have nothing in your back pocket. All right. So let's get one and then we can move on to more. Okay. So that is where we're at for tonight, you guys. If you do feel like you need some recruiting support and help, Before You Go Pro is more than just content. We are actually a company that handles recruiting services. We've got kids playing across the country. We've been doing this for over 16 years. We have a full team working 24/7. And now it's about to get serious, you guys. So I'm going to put the link in the bio right here or in the comments section. And right there, you guys, is the link if you guys are serious about getting some recruiting support, okay? Get the recruiting support you need. Right here is our database where you guys can be listed as a quarterback, an offensive lineman, a linebacker, a defensive back. We'll stamp you as a Before You Go Pro athlete, you guys, and we only accept 10 per position. So if you're a wide receiver and you want more exposure, you want some offers on the table, it doesn't matter the level that you are. You could be a major Power 5 level kid or an NAIA kid. We would love to help you, but we're only helping 10. We're only helping 10 wide receivers because this is exclusive. This is a fraternity, and all of the recruiters that we have contacts with, like you saw with Coach Rondo or Coach Fuller of Florida State, they have to know that we've got premium kids that come from great families and that are going to do the right things if they give them money. So we only accept 10 athletes per position. Lane is one of our defensive linemen. I think we only have 5 defensive lineman spots left for the rest of the season, you guys. Unless somebody signs or commits, we may add another one, but that's it. So if you guys want to be a part of our recruiting database, one of 100 kids, we would love to have you. You have to be evaluated. This isn't NCSA or something where you set up a free profile and you're good to go. You have to be evaluated, but you'll have access to me, the team, live and recorded content, our membership portal, and then once again, you'll be a part of our recruiting database too. So if you guys want that access, then click on the link or copy and paste that baby into your browser and you'll be good to go. We would love to hear from you, give you a free film evaluation. And then the great Coach Foss, who's one of our team members, says, remember, folks, subscribe and like so you can get notified every week for the live recruiting show. And then also our locker room show that comes out every Thursday. We've got another great guest for you guys too. So this is a labor of love. Our team goes deep into giving you guys recruiting tactics and strategies. Does anybody have any questions about their recruiting process, whether it's your own personal recruiting process or maybe something with your coach? Maybe you're about to take some official visits or unofficial visits. Maybe you've been requested to come to a game and check out a team. Does anybody have any recruiting questions, core GPA questions, anything like that? And I'm going to actually, while you guys think about that, I'm going to let my daughter know she can go to her growth group. And we will be set. Does anybody have any questions about recruiting? Right now, we're at the beginning of October. The early signing periods at the end of December, I want to say the 21st. or the 20th through the 23rd. I'll get that exact information for you. But end of December, early signing period. Usually that's the high level D1 kids, FCS kids, a lot of FCS kids. Maybe a couple D2 kids, but not as much D2, D3, NAI. And then we have the regular signing period, you guys, February. Money is money. And you guys, I just showed you a beautiful university, Southeastern, or was it Northeastern? I can't remember. A beautiful university, Northeastern State. That's terrible. Once again, they've scored 24 points. Look at that second arrow on the right bottom. 24 points, you guys. They've scored in 5 games this season. 209 points given up. Lord Jesus. So if you guys don't have any offers, you need to call Northeastern State. If you guys want us to do it, we'll do it for you. We'd love to help you out. Okay. So once again, I'm Coach Wood. Does anybody have any recruiting questions, any concerns about their recruiting process? Maybe you're feeling you're getting left behind. Maybe you have something that you're wondering about, just questions to ask recruiters when they call you. If you have any questions, let us know, or I'm going to let you go. But every Tuesday, you can come to the Recruiting Live Show. And I'm going to be here live to help you guys out. And we're going to get deeper and deeper into the tactics, you guys, to getting you closer to the money. Also, we're going to be bringing in some guests. We're going to bring in some college coaches, some players who are getting recruited, so you guys can find out more. But does anybody have any questions about the college football recruiting process? If you guys are joining us late, please run this show back, because we gave some great tactics. And we also talked about one of our own athletes, Lane Lance, who is getting recruited, but we're showing you how he is getting recruited and what's about to take place for him. We're going to keep you guys up to date with all of these athletes too, as they start getting offers and start committing to school. So does anybody have anything for Coach Wood before I let you go? Once again, in the comments section, you guys, this is the link if you want to check out our recruiting packages and services where we can help you and mentor you and get you through your career. So unless anybody has any questions, any comments, concerns, we thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Coach Wood. Coach Foss is with us too, and we'll definitely see you at the top. Make sure you guys follow us, subscribe, like. We're on all the social media channels, and we give great game, great sauce to help you guys get the college football scholarships that you desire. So once again, I'm Coach Wood, and look forward to possibly working with you. I'll see you at the top. Have a good one.